There is a ton of Indiana Crimson in this city, in this stadium tonight. When they played in the regular season, they played on Oregon's home turf. This will likely be Indiana noise tonight as you take a look at the college football playoff bracket. Second year of the 12-team field. The last at-large team, Miami, won a thriller against Ole Miss last night to go to the championship game where the Canes will play in their home stadium on January 19th. The winner of the rematch between Oregon and Indiana will meet them. Glad to have you with us on College Game Day. Reese Davis, Kirk Herbstreit, Desmond Howard, Nick Saban in a stadium where he's won a national championship. and Pat McAfee.
As we talked last night, I think any stadium that has hosted a national championship, Coach Saban has won one. And congrats for all the success you've had in here, Coach. Great to see you.
That was all about the players, man.
What conference was that in, Coach? That all your history in this. What conference were you representing then in this particular building?
The SEC, but I coach in the Big Ten for 12 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, tonight, obviously in Mercedes-Benz, this place has so much history in college football and football as a whole. It's a magical venue. It's a magical place. And you got two magical storylines between these two Big Ten teams looking to punch their ticket to the national championship. And if you think about the entire college football season, there's been so much drama. There's been so much magic. And these college football playoffs have delivered for both of us, or for all of us. And last night, are you kidding me? An instant classic as Miami punches their ticket to a national championship. And then tonight, will it be Dan Lanning or Cignetti getting a shot at it? It is a special time for ball. Lucky to be here, man.
Yeah.
Kirk,
great call last night. Great call by you and your squad. Well, I don't think any of us expected that kind of finish last night, right?
Amazing.
I mean, that fourth quarter, it's amazing.
How many lead changes?
Go down in
It's special last night, man.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, on the field, you could feel it's like an instant classic. Trinidad, unbelievable. Then Carson Beck comes back on the other side.
4 lead changes in the last 5 minutes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's college football, baby.
Hey, we're going to have a lot more on that game. We'll show you the highlights. I'm sure you've seen them, but you can't see them enough. Mario Cristobal is going to join us in a little bit. Mario Cristobal, by the way, the former Oregon coach. That would be a storyline should the Ducks win tonight. Indiana and Oregon tonight. The Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza, has yet another threat. Now, early in the season, Charlie Becker wasn't much of a part of the offense, but look what he's done in the latter part of the season. Ducks got 3 pass interference penalties last time and another threat to deal with, but you know they want to run the ball with Taylor Black, Roman Himby, had over 200 yards rushing against Alabama, though the Ducks held them to about 3 yards per carry last time. They better watch out for Brandon Finney, who just has a knack. He got 3 turnovers in the Orange Bowl against Texas Tech. Had the pick 6 against Mendoza in the regular season meeting. Is he the guy to slow down that passing attack? Meanwhile, Dante Moore, draft stock at stake here for him. Malik Benson has been a huge target because they've really been hurt with injuries to the wide receiver corps. And tonight, with the running backs all beat up, Moore's going to have even more on him, and that might let Indiana tee off again. They pressured him on 21 of his 42 dropbacks. They sacked him 6 times, and that defensive coordinator, Brian Haynes, had Dante Moore confused for much of the game. Now, we've got reporters covering both teams, and we'll start with Molly McGrath, who spoke with the head coach of the #1 Hoosiers.
Thank you, Reese. Coach Cignetti, what kind of maturity have you seen from your team during this playoff run?
An awful lot. I mean, leadership, maturity, good decision-making on the field. Been pretty consistent. Going to have to be real consistent tonight and start and finish.
What has been your message to your team during these final preparations?
Just razor-sharp focus, sharp edge, killer instinct, 1 play at a time, 1 to 150. Play the game like we want them to play.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Katie.
Thanks, Molly. Dan, your leading rusher, Noah Whittington, popped up on the injury report late last night. What's he dealing with?
Yeah, we'll see. We're going to get out of here and see what he's able to do, and we'll be ready to roll.
If he, for some reason, is unable to go, who will the workload fall on in the backfield?
Strength in numbers, right? Everybody's going to lean together, and we're going to go out here and do our work.
You know this team well. What was your final message to your group ahead of this rematch?
Well, I get another chance to talk to them after we go to the locker room here, but just do them.
Thanks for the time. Best of luck.
Thank you.
We'll detail some of that running back situation that Katie alluded to. They moved a couple of defensive players to running back, and a rarity for Dan Lanning. One running back, Jay Harris, who's in the transfer portal, let him stay. That hasn't been typical for Lanning and for Oregon when they were going into the portal and leaving the program. Now, For the Big Ten tonight, Pat, this is a really big deal. No matter what happens, for the third straight year, third different team is going to play for the national championship. And this Indiana story, think about 2 years in the 12-team playoff. Indiana's the only conference champion to win a game.
Yeah, and the thing about Indiana and what they've been able to accomplish, this NIL transfer portal has certainly brought a lot of complications to college football. I think we can all certainly acknowledge that. Yep. But for the state of Indiana, for the city of Bloomington, and for Indiana University, this NIL transfer portal with Curt Cignetti at the helm and their boosters being able to help them, this state has become a full-on football state. It was a basketball state, obviously, for a very long time. Bob Knight had the Indiana Hoosiers in the candy stripe or the pinstripes all over the place. And Curt Cignetti has basically been the Bobby Knight of football for Bloomington. They run fundamentally sound football. They thump. They play the right way. They're intense. And the way Cignetti addresses everything, I think the people of Indiana trust, respect, and have bought in, obviously. And that state is all the way behind them. And I'm very lucky to live there. And it's been a special Cignetti takeover of IU football.
It's like a special team. When you watch this team, you can't help but be impressed by the way they go about their business. You're talking about a team that's very disciplined. They don't beat themselves. They don't get penalized a lot. They're fundamentally sound. I mean, they have the type of confidence that can only come from a coach like Cignetti. This guy is very self-assured, very comfortable in his own skin. He believes in himself, his staff, and what he's doing. And you can tell that the kids, they all have bought in. And this has been probably the most impressive team I've seen throughout not only the college football playoff, but throughout the 2025 college football season.
Well, they were most certainly impressive in the Rose Bowl. I mean, they dominated the game. But if you go back to this first game, it was 20-20 going into the fourth quarter. And, it's hard to beat the same team twice. Yeah. And, Oregon's offense really struggled in that game. Indiana's defense was dominant, in the game. So I think in this game, Oregon's offense is going to have to dominate the line of scrimmage, establish the run, make some explosive plays, don't turn the ball over, and they may have a chance in this game if they can do that. And I love Dan Lanning. I love the way he coaches. But I do think that's going to be really, really important because really Oregon's defense played pretty decent, in that first game. So it'll be interesting to see how their offense responds.
You experienced it and you figured it out. You really mastered the psychological aspect of getting your teams ready. I really wondered, to Pat's point about Indiana, I felt like they've been a team that's kind of played with a chip on their shoulder and trying to prove to people who they were. And I feel like that Rose Bowl, it was almost as that confetti came down, there was such a celebration of like, we made it to the Rose Bowl and we conquered it and we won it. I just hope they can keep the edge. You just heard in that interview, because that's their secret sauce. Trying to prove people wrong. And now they're getting a lot of this. And I'm not saying they're not going to be able to handle it, because they had a lot of that after Indianapolis and the Ohio State game. But there was something euphoric there about that celebration in Pasadena. And now all Oregon's hearing about is they got no fans here. They got no shot. Indiana's become the belle of the ball. Like everybody is talking about Indiana, and they should. Yeah. I'm just hoping that Indiana keeps that toughness.
Still got to play football, you're saying.
They got to play the way they play.
The one thing that Indiana has, culture over strategy.
Yeah, that's great.
They have the best culture of any team I've seen this year. I mean, they've been great at that, and it leads to great execution. So it doesn't matter what play they run or what defense they run. They don't screw it up.
Yeah,
they don't beat themselves.
Mistakes.
So
they don't beat themselves. Right.
And that becomes hard to beat.
And it's going to be like a home game for them. It's like Bloomington of the South.
Yeah. On that note, it's like Indiana Hoosiers fans get a chance to travel down here to Atlanta.
Yeah.
To watch Indiana in football, to punch a ticket to the national championship. It's like you drive around this town. This is Indiana, Georgia. I mean, that is no question.
We were thinking 70-30. This is going to be like 90-10.
Yeah,
95-5.
Yeah.
They haven't completely abandoned their basketball roots, though. I was walking over today. A nice man from Indiana stops me, and he says, I'm really curious about the show. He said, I want to know how you get ready. He said, what are you going to do between now and tip-off?
Oh, no. They're getting used to it. They're getting used to it. They're getting used to it.
They're going to get used to it real fast. This is a really good team. Oregon will be here to challenge them for sure. This is the 6th rematch in the playoff era. To your point about trying to beat a team twice, 4 of the previous